Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be working on this antique buffet, I would say it is. I don't think it's quite a dresser. I'm not quite sure how old this piece really is, but I do know that they don't make pieces like it anymore. So it's at least vintage, if not antique. I got this piece for free from my boyfriend's family, and I'm so excited to get started working on this piece. This piece isn't perfect. It does have some scuffs and is kind of dinged up. There also isn't any hardware, so that will need to be replaced, which is fine because I typically do that anyways. I do really love the legs on this piece, so I don't plan on changing that out at all. And the inside of the drawers are actually in really good condition, which I'm super happy about. In this video, I am going to be trying a brand new paint color, a color that I have never used before, so I'm kind of nervous but also super excited. And on top of that, I'm also using a different brand, a new to me brand of paint that I have not used before. So we'll have to see if I like this type of paint in this video or not. Now, because all of the hardware is already off, let's get this piece out of the garage so that we can give it a scuff sand and get started on this makeover. Alright, so I actually decided that I am going to stay right here because this piece is pretty heavy and there's not too much to sand, so I think it'll be okay doing it in the garage. I'm just using a 220 grit of sandpaper. This is just going to scuff up the surface, which is basically just getting rid of all the glossy finish so that paint will adhere to it super nicely and stay on for years to come. There are very few paints that will allow you to skip this step as well as primer, but I like to at least scuff sand whether it's recommended or not, just so that I can really ensure that my paint is going to stick. Since I am selling these pieces, I like to ensure that I'm giving my customers quality pieces and quality work, so that's just why I do it. It doesn't take long. Sandpaper isn't too expensive. When I am sanding though, I always use a respirator so that I can protect my lungs. A lot of the time I'll also use some eyewear, which I can't find right now, so I'm going to skip out on that. But never skip out on your respirator. They're not too expensive at the store, but you do need to constantly replace the filters so that your respirator is always doing its job. Alright, so we're all done. That only took about 5 minutes. This piece isn't super big and it was already kind of scuffed up, so I was able to get all the gloss off super easily. I have a feeling that this makeover is going to be super quick and super easy because so far there has been no trouble at all, and I feel like I'm just speeding through the prep work so fast. So the paint that I'm going to be using doesn't require any primer, so the only other thing that we have to do in the prep work is wiping this piece down and making sure it's clean and now ready for paint. So I have this white bucket that I use to clean down every piece. I usually just use either warm water and Dawn dish soap or warm water and like white vinegar, and that's what I'm gonna do this time around. I find that it's super easy and most people already have it in their homes, so it's really convenient. So I'm gonna get all this sanding stuff put away, get some fresh water and vinegar in here, and we'll get this piece cleaned up so that we can try out that new paint. Alright, so I'll probably have to go back through a second time just wiping it down because there still is a little bit of dust and I want to make sure that's all off before paint. Also, I hope the camera isn't picking this up, but the neighbor just started mowing and there's really nothing I can do about that, so hopefully you guys can't hear that. To wipe everything down, I just like to use these rags from the Scott brand. I actually get them from some family friends, so that's just another way that I save money not having to buy like shop towels or anything like that because I have a hookup with these, which is sweet. However, I do really love them and I believe you can get them off of Amazon in like a bulk pack and it's not too expensive. So I will leave a link to that in my Amazon storefront linked down below in the description if you are interested in trying it out. I just like to use these because they're so easy. You can pull one out and throw it away when you're done. I used to use microfiber towels a lot and occasionally I still will. It's just kind of a pain when I have to wash them and then I go to start a new project and I don't have any clean ones, so that's when I really like using these. So now that it's been wiped down for a second time, I think it's probably time we get these drawers out so that we can get ready on paint.
About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get away, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts. Be free with me. Let's go, let's be free with me.
At this point, 2 coats of paint have been put on, and I've got to say, I am so impressed with this paint, this brand. I really love how this finish turned out. It's at the point where I can't even tell that I hand painted this piece. I do really love the hand painted look, which is why I do that so often, but when you get a finish that shows as if it was a flawless paint sprayer finish when you like painted it by hand, you know you've got a good paint there, and that really shows in this brand of paint. Also, I'm very impressed by the coverage as well. I do know that this is a dark color and we're basically painting a brown on top of a brown, but sometimes paint is really thin and you need multiple layers to have full coverage. And on this piece, I reached full coverage in just 2 coats. I probably actually could have gotten away with doing 1 coat and then like a spot coat or a touch-up coat in just a few spots that needed it. But because I am selling it and I want the best for my customers, I always do a minimum of 2 coats no matter what. Moving into hardware, I picked this vintage antique knobs. I can't find the right words for this, but basically I really like this hardware for this piece because this is an antique piece. These are vintage antique knobs and it's got like a modern twist to it. So I think that they're gonna pair really well. I'm gonna open it up so you guys can see it. Although if you've watched some of my videos before, I can almost guarantee that you have seen me use these knobs. If not, I will pop up some videos here that you guys should go and watch after this video. Here they are. I think they're super cute, and like I said, they've got a nice modern twist to it. Now, a lot of the time I will go ahead and actually spray paint them, so you can kind of see the difference here. I've got the original right here and the gold spray painted here. I'm not quite sure which one I'm gonna do yet, but I think it'll be a fun surprise in the final reveal. I'm gonna go ahead and get this hardware on off camera. Before we do get into that final reveal, please make sure you guys like and subscribe if you aren't already yet, because it really does help small channels like mine grow. Also, make sure to turn on your post notifications so that you are notified every time that I upload. And let's go ahead and get into that final reveal.